Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we're going to master one of the most powerful skills any reader can have. Seriously, it's a technique that, once you really get it, is going to completely change how you see everything, from a news article to a dense chapter in a textbook. So let's get into it. Think about it. We are just swimming in words all day long, right? Scrolling, reading, clicking. But have you ever gotten to the end of an article and just thought, wait, what was the actual point of that? It's so easy to drown in the details and miss the main message. Well, that feeling, it officially ends today. The secret, the absolute game changer, is finding what we call the central idea. Just think of it like a key that can unlock a text's entire meaning. But, a blank key doesn't open anything, does it? It needs the right cuts, the right grooves. And that's where supporting details come in. They're the specific facts and examples that let that key actually turn the lock. So here's our game plan. First, we'll nail down what the key is. Then, we'll see how it's built. I'll walk you through an analysis step by step, then you'll tackle a tougher one. And we'll finish up by packing a toolkit you can use anytime, anywhere. Let's dive in. Okay, first things first. Every great text detective has to know what they're looking for. And for us, that means getting really sharp on the crucial difference between just a simple topic and the author's actual argument. Now this, right here, is the big one. This is the distinction that changes everything. A topic, that's just a word or a phrase, like social media or climate change. But a central idea is a complete sentence. It has to be. It's the specific claim or the argument the author is making about that topic. Let's make this super concrete. If you say the central idea of an article is the digital divide, well, you've only found the topic. The real central idea is what the author is arguing about the digital divide. For example, that it's a major social justice problem causing inequality. You see that difference? One is just a signpost pointing you in a direction. The other is the actual destination. Here's another way to picture it that I really love. Imagine your central idea is a tabletop. It's the main surface, right? But a tabletop can't just float in midair. It needs legs to hold it up. And those legs? Those are your supporting details. The specific facts, the examples, the quotes that hold the entire argument up. If you don't have strong legs, the whole table just comes crashing down. All right, so theory's great, but let's be real. Practice is where it all clicks into place. So now I'm going to put on my text detective hat and model how to break down a text piece by piece. I want you to watch closely as I kind of think out loud and work through the process of unlocking its meaning. Okay, so we're going to be working with this text, The Digital Divide, Access and Opportunity in the Modern Age. I want you to follow along with me as I read and think aloud. Our mission is to spot the central idea as it starts to take shape and see exactly how the author builds it. Okay, so as I'm reading this first paragraph, the question I'm always asking is, what is the author actually doing here? I see a key definition. They're calling the digital divide a gap. But is it just a definition? No, the way they're phrasing it, it feels like they're framing this as a really widespread and serious problem. So, okay, the central idea is starting to form around this concept of a problem. And then boom, in the second paragraph, we get this really powerful detail. Suddenly, it's not some abstract gap anymore. Now we're talking about real students who are struggling to do their homework. This right here, this is a supporting detail. It's one of the legs for our table. Do you see how that one little detail makes the whole argument so much stronger? By focusing on a real-world consequence, the author makes the central idea feel much more serious. It's not just a gap anymore. Now it's a very real barrier to a kid's education. All right, next section. Now the author starts talking about solutions, like public libraries offering free internet. I have to stop and ask myself, why are they telling me this? This isn't just a random fact. It's another piece of the puzzle. Another deliberate move in their argument. Ah, I see. By bringing in solutions, the author's sending us a pretty clear message. This problem is so important that people are actively trying to fix it. That just reinforces how critical the issue is. The argument is getting heavier, more solid. And here we go. In the conclusion, the author takes it one final step. They refine the idea. They say, you know what? Just having a computer isn't enough. And then they land the final punch. It's a critical social justice issue. Did you notice that? The idea didn't just stay the same from beginning to end. It grew. It evolved from a simple gap into this profound issue of fairness and equality. That's good writing. Okay, you saw my process. Now it's your turn to take the lead. we're going to level up and tackle a more complex text. This one actually has two central ideas that are working together. Let's see what you can uncover.
So here is your challenge: the paradox of choice in the digital age. As you read through this, your mission is to hunt for and identify not just one, but two interconnected arguments that the author is making. Go for it.
All right, so how did it go? What did you find? The first big idea is pretty clear, right? It's the what. The author's arguing that having way too many choices actually makes us anxious and less happy with what we pick. But they don't just leave it there. There's a second idea that explains the why. Turns out our brains just aren't wired to handle that many options. So how do these two ideas click together? Well, it's a classic cause and effect relationship. The cause is our brain's built-in limits, and the effect of hitting those limits is this paradox of choice, where we end up feeling more anxious and even regretful. When you can see both the cause and the effect, you finally understand the author's full, complete argument. Fantastic work. Okay, let's bring it all home. How do we take this amazing skill and actually use it in our day-to-day lives? Look, this is not just some academic exercise to check off a box. This is a life skill, for real. When you can quickly and accurately figure out the main argument in a news story, a memo from work, or even a political ad, you become a smarter, more critical thinker. You learn how to cut through all the fluff and get to what really, truly matters. So here it is, your official critical reading toolkit. Just 4 simple steps. 1. Identify the central idea, not just the topic. 2. Analyze how those details, those legs, hold it up. 3. Trace how that main idea grows and changes. And 4. Summarize the author's points fairly. That's it. That's your formula for reading like a pro. I want you to think of this as more than just another study skill. This is your new superpower. It's the ability to look at any piece of writing and instantly see its heart, understand how it's built, and ultimately see the world around you with so much more clarity. We started this whole journey talking about a key that unlocks a text's true meaning. Well, that key is now in your hand. You've earned it. So the only real question left is, what will you unlock next?